Good day, Donovan here from MyGen Property Group with some more news from around the web. This week, an article from Property 24. Now, buckle up, because this is going to be a bit longer than usual, but there are some really good tips and advice in this article, most of which a good estate agent will know. And now you will too. So, let's begin. Festive season lockdown rules. What to consider if you are buying or selling a property. Buyers and sellers have the impression that the festive season is not an ideal time to invest in a home. But if you plan correctly, experts suggest this is simply not true. Barry Everett, CEO of Chas Everett International Property Group, says the summer holidays are often particularly busy home buying times. And not only in SA's beautiful coastal towns and cities, because this is when those who have been transferred for work, with those who want to move to live closer to certain schools, and those who want to buy for any other reason, are most likely to have time off to find a new home. January is well known for its rush in properties coming onto the market. The reduced number of homes available for prospective buyers to view means there is less competition for their attention. And this actually increases the chance of achieving a sale if you keep your home in the market during the holidays. However, if the past 20 months of lockdown due to the COVID-19 pandemic has taught us anything, it is to expect the unexpected, especially when infection rates can spike, and this then forces the implementation of stricter lockdown rules. Property transfers and deed office closures. According to Vuyokazi Giselle, Director, Program Management Office of the Chief Register of Deeds, closure of offices due to the COVID-19 positive cases has resulted in a backlog in some of the 11 deeds offices around the country throughout the year. Some of the key issues they've had to manage has been the shortage of staff due to positive cases, along with a high lodgement of deeds. However, performance has improved in most offices as compared to the same period of last year, with the frequency of closures of offices due to the positive cases being less frequent compared to last year. Interventions to avoid backlogs have included a hybrid approach to allow staff to work off the backlog, including paying staff overtime and allowing examiners to take deeds home to prevent further backlog. The Chief Deeds Register has not received confirmation of any possible changes to its operating times or changes to normal working procedures over the festive season. However, it is important for sellers and buyers to keep in mind the timeframes over this period. The article continues to give a couple of scenarios. Number 1. Upside scenario. Level 1 lockdown continues for the most of the year, moving to Level 2 in December. No significant changes in infections is seen, and the country moves back to Level 1 lockdown in February and March. By April of 2022, lockdown restrictions are largely lifted, with some specific exemptions such as wearing masks in public places. Number 2. Baseline scenario. Level 1 lockdown to continue for most of the year, moving to an adjusted Level 3 lockdown in December. Adjusted Level 3 lockdown to continue over most of the holiday period, moving to a Level 2 lockdown in mid-January. South Africa moves to Level 1 lockdown in February, which remains in place until May of 2022. By May 2022, lockdown restrictions are largely lifted, with specific exceptions such as wearing masks in public places. Scenario number 3, the downside. Level 1 lockdown to continue for most of the year, moving to Level 2 lockdown in mid-November. Adjustment Level 3 lockdown to continue over most of the holiday period, moving back to Level 2 lockdown in mid-January. South Africa moves to a Level 1 lockdown in mid-February, and this remains in place for the first half of 2022. So, if you have been thinking about buying or selling over the next couple of months, here are some of the advice from Property 24 to ensure you are having a smooth process. Number 1. Price correctly from the start. If you haven't had a property valued yet, best you get that sorted immediately. Ask at least 2 qualified estate agents to value your property. Pricing correctly from the start is vital. You don't have to be offering the cheapest property on the market to achieve a quick sale. Rather, it needs to be well priced in comparison with similar properties. Number 2. Work with the right estate agent. Choose an agent based on their skill sets, the company's marketing ability, and track record in your area. Importantly, sellers should select the right agent for their needs, based on the quality of their offering rather than pricing. Like MyGen Property Group, your specialists in real estate. Number 3. Get your home ready. It is surprising how many properties we have visited where this hasn't been done. Selling your home is all about making it as appealing as possible. We all have our must-have features when it comes to choosing a home, but what about the must-not-haves? Outdated kitchens and bathrooms can be the most off-putting, not to mention the most expensive when it comes to upgrading a property. Ensure you do a proper declutter of both the inside and outside of your home, so you can put your best foot forward when listing the property. Create as much light, open and airy spaces as you can before you arrange any viewings. Number 4. Start preparing your documents. We have mentioned some of this in a previous video. The normal process is that only after the offer to be purchased is signed will the seller get around to dealing with it. The conveyancer's request for paperwork, and this can drag out the transfer considerably. Already a 2 to 3 month long process calculated from the date of sale. The seller can be faced with an astonishing amount of paperwork. Of course, this is not every property, as they don't have the same history and unique circumstances, and therefore not all of them will apply. Here are some of the things you might need to consider. Giving the 90 days notice to the existing bondholder for cancellation of the bond. Having an access bond frozen before cash can be drawn therefrom. Obtaining building plans for the house. Incorrect rates and taxes accounts, especially where a previous subdivision took place. Lost original title deed and the long delay in having a duplicate original issued. Failing to have had conveyancing documents or power of attorney signed before traveling overseas. Repairing all known defects in the property before show day. Arranging electrical certificates of compliance, gas and fence certificates which are valid and beyond reproach. Making sure that the company or close corporation seller has not been deregistered by the company's office. 55% of shareholders, directors and members in a closed corporation to authorize the sale of its property. Trustees in a family trust must first be updated. Making sure that the property, if built within the last 5 years, has the obligatory NHBRC, National Home Builders Registrational Council, not having paid engineering services and endowments that are raised from the application to subdivide or rezone the property was submitted. Deceased estates. Only an executor appointed by the letter of the authority is allowed to sell the deceased's property. If you want to go over the article for yourself, a link will be in the description below. Now, thank you again for watching, and if you wouldn't mind subscribing and clicking the notification bell below, it'll be greatly appreciated. Also, leave a like and a comment so we can hear what you think. Then, if you are interested in buying or selling in the Centurion area, contact Kali or Donovan at My Agent Property Group, your specialists in real estate.